Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Monday, June 23rd, and I just made it to the show because I was busy outrunning Shedeur Sanders out on the highway as we check in on OKC partying up with Florida like it's 2024, and why the Red Hot Rockies are chasing the Chicago White Sox.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
So here's something for you. If you're losing, just get in the ump's face and push them to the ground. Make them do a barrel roll.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome in. It is Monday. It is time for one of your daily doses of Sports Idiot Nation. We come to you twice a week, every Monday and Thursday, as we're getting ready to wrap on a season one. And so we are joined by, again, not my cousin, but my brother from another mother, Alex Merino. Of course, as always, joined by T.I. and Miles Behind Enemy Lines. So I'm excited, though, for the boys to get to know Alex. We had a chance just a few days ago to hop on the show for Thursday. I'm so hyped, though. Welcome, Alex. I'll start with a question for you. With all things fantasy football, I want to ask you, did you watch the hockey finals or the NBA finals?
So much. People were keeping me in the loop. I watched today's game because I knew I was going to come on with you guys. And OKC kind of knew that they were going to do that. Indiana, they've kind of always been cursed.
With the injury, once the injury happened, yeah. So, all right, let's get into hockey real quick because Miles will blow a gasket if we don't. It is cool that you have the repeat, and here's what I find interesting. Like, these hockey guys know how to party. They're like denting they're denting Lord Stanley's cup. They're putting dents in it, and like they're saying they're not apologizing for it. They're like going hard. They're like, hey, we won this thing 2 years in a row. You can step off. Like, I love that.
You're going to have to go to Target and get a new one for $55, you know.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
What the hell is this, though? 6 straight years now, a team from Florida in the Cup Finals. This is getting a little bizarre. The ice is melting.
Well, yeah, what's Canada's drought? T.I., do you know how long it's been since Canada's won?
What?
Yep, that's about right.
8 years? Something like that? 10 years? I don't know.
Years.
Yeah.
88.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute.
Stanley
32.
Hockey is just hockey players and hockey fans and hockey parents and just hockey in general is just a different breed. I mean, it's like you said, they're just like tossing around the cup, like pouring beer in it and drinking out of it.
You love to see it.
And it's like, I mean, if it was some other franchise, probably it's the first time they've ever won any kind of championship, they're cherishing it. And so just, and then meanwhile, hockey players are just like, watch this, throwing it up in the air like a skeet shoot and shooting a shotgun at it, like they're wild. Hockey players are wild.
Solani.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you can't be is a pussy to play hockey. Yeah, especially at the professional level. So they're not going to party like pussies, that's for sure.
No.
Right. That's what they're talking about, basically. Like, look, we're the best team on the ice, and we're the best team off the ice. Like, they literally, that's not me being funny. I am quoting like what they're saying. I love it.
I think that's a Thomas Jefferson quote right there.
Yeah.
Can't be a pussy to play hockey.
It is. I have it actually tattooed across my chest, actually. But
Prove it.
they're just. It's kind of like the equivalent of, hey, we won it 2 years in a row. We're already the favorites to win it again. You don't like you don't like how we party with Lord Stanley, then come take it from us. So
right.
I mean, hey, it's theirs to do what they want. It's now that we got Alex on the show. Speaking of fantasy football, it's like, one of the guys in our league won our main league 3 years in a row. And our league is very competitive, 14-team league. And the the summer of the year that he won it 3 years in a row, he sent us all participation trophies in the offseason, you know, and it's just like, it's like that second level of cerebral, like, all right, you know, so that's where Florida's at now. They're like, hey, this is our cup. We own this thing. So we do whatever we want.
Diving into the ocean, celebrating the Canadian mind cannot comprehend. And we get half the teams from Canada. Mad. But they've assimilated to the U.S. now. Like Canada, you haven't won it since 1993. You kick ass at being second to the United States in everything. We'll even take your players and still beat your ass at your own game.
So let's shift to. Speaking of Canada, they showed the NBA Finals were Team Canada was all up in it. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, was it Nemhard? Lou Dort, like that was kind of cool. Is anyone surprised at the way Game 7 went? Let's get into Halliburton first, I guess. Like it was the same, Miles confirmed, right? It was the same leg that he had issues with, and he just, you know, I like that they had enough days off. You would have thought like he could have pulled it out, but you could see it snap. You could see it, like Aaron Rodgers, Kevin Durant's, I think Klay Thompson's, who was for the Celtics, who just blew his for the Celtics, is out for the year.
I mean, you really don't have to reminisce all these terrible injuries if you really want to. You can go right ahead. You're like
Jason Tatum.
Right.
Jason Tatum.
I was like, he really forgot Jason Tatum's name.
I did.
I was just going to let you go with it because T.I. took it. Yeah, who knows that guy?
But like, it was just like you could see it snap, and it was just like, oh, now he's out for the year. It's like, oh, that sucks for the Pacers. They fought well. TJ McConnell at some point is a backup, and you could see it, like his turnovers and stuff. A valiant effort, but it's like
we do not slander an exciting white on this show.
so we gotta. We gotta tell our listeners.
How many points did you have in Game 7?
Yeah. So after the Eagles, do you remember this, Alex? After the Eagles had their like rally or whatever, they had, I don't know who said it, but they were like, and now the exciting whites. They literally said that at the parade. And so we talked about that, and that's one of our episode titles. And every once in a while, T.I. will be like, oh, the exciting whites. Like it's crazy.
I don't know how
team has an exciting white.
That's something that I would cover and like try to find a clip of and get people riled up.
Well, it's like the return of the exciting whites, you know. Cooper,
breaking the color barrier in the defensive backfield.
You know, like we've said, we don't know if it's DeJean or DeJuan. Depends on who you're speaking with.
Whatever's whiter.
Yeah. DeJean is whiter. White.
I know.
Whiter.
Ask Jason Sehorn. Ask Jason Sehorn how to pronounce
That's right. That's right.
There's a callback.
Jason Sehorn.
Yeah.
But TJ McConnell, he tried, but nah.
He tried hard.
He's 5'7".
Yeah.
He gets a participation trophy from
so do you, Adam. You get a participation trophy for spitting
for speaking.
But yeah, OKC, like I said, man, it's just boring fundamental basketball. Like, I don't know. I mean, hey, man, good for them, good for their fans. It's cool to see a small market get it, but let's just move on. You know,
is it cool to see a small market get it? That's an honest question because, like, do people really care? Like, are people? Really
the NBA does not want that. The NBA does not want that. No. I being a Grizzlies fan, I don't root for OKC ever, but it's like we're in the same boat, kind of. It's like, well, we're teams that the NBA really doesn't want, but we've been more successful than not. So, you know, it's like, but NBA did not want OKC winning the championship. I mean, maybe they did to prove the MVP award, but other than that, like they wanted Lakers Celtics. They won Lakers Celtics every year. You know, that's what they want.
Right?
Yeah, they're just like
the Knicks ain't gonna make it.
So, but I mean, hey, we moved on. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs were great. NBA Finals went to Game 7. I mean, hey, as sports fans, what more can you ask for? So,
yeah,
those finals started off fantastic, and then by the end, they just kind of cratered.
So the NBA had to make big news because Game 7 wasn't enough. They had to announce that Kevin Durant is changing teams again. And what's funny is, like, I would believe if word gets out that Kevin Durant knew 3-4 days ago that this was going to happen, but he wanted it to be released today, to be relevant. I would not in the slightest doubt that. It's just another eye roll in Kevin Durant's career where he's one of the top 10 scorers maybe of all time, but yet everyone rolls their eyes at him. It's it's really weird. And Houston, it's a weird thing. Now, James Harden and Russell Westbrook and KD have all played for the Houston Rockets, and it won't matter. 25 years later, everyone will forget that. And it's just okay, dude, whatever.
It's more do you care segments when the Sklar brothers finally bring back cheap seats, and it's do you care that in 2025 the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA Finals? Do you care that Russ, the Beard, and KD played for Houston, collecting 0 NBA championships for H-Town?
Yeah,
I got a personal gripe with KD because being from San Diego, I don't have any ties to any basketball teams. The Clippers were there before I was born, so I don't.
Yeah.
Do you care?
Yeah.
Before electricity.
When OKC became a thing and Kevin Durant, it was all around him. I became a hardcore OKC fan for a few years, and I was pumped as fuck for that Game 7 OKC versus Golden State. And
yes,
literally,
me too.
Kevin Durant can't play hockey. Why? Because he's a fucking pussy. Okay, and him just going to the Warriors and just folding in Game 7. That literally made me hate basketball.
And then he went to the Warriors. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was that move, him folding in Game 7. That made me pissed at the time. But him going to the Warriors literally made me hate basketball. That's how much I hated that.
That was a lame move. I feel no matter what he does, he could win 4 straight championships with Houston. That's not going to happen. But let's say it does, it's still going to have a blemish on his whole career because it's the whole you just the team that just beat you. You just got to go join them now, so you can team up on the other 40-year-old man on the other team. And in Cleveland at the time, it was just kind of this is kind of dumb. So I get it. I totally agree there. I think he's his Instagram handle says it best, easy money sniper. He's a phenomenal scorer, great athlete, great basketball player, but I just don't think he has that lead a team quality that some of these top 5s do or top 10s all time do. He's a great asset. He's a great piece. He's a great chess piece. He is the one that when you need 10 points, he'll get you 12, but yeah, I don't think he controls the locker room. I think he keeps to himself, which is fine. A lot of players do, but I just don't think for what he has brought to the game, I don't think that he brings that to a team for what he's brought to the game.
He can't bring a championship anywhere. Golden State, they were already winning chips. He wasn't the game changer there. And this is why no one serious is taking Houston serious to be a legit contender next year. He's going to drop 26 and a buck or whatever he might do for 54 games, then get hurt again and go out. Houston is not going to go over the hill or turn a corner just because you got KD. We've seen the same movie time and time again. There is going to be no change. And, that's one less team you got to worry about in the West now.
And they traded their best player away, Dylan Brooks. So
I was waiting for someone. The former Memphis Grizzly, just turd, all around turd. He makes Canada basketball worse for sure when he's on that team.
He's good. He's a good defender, just doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
You let your defense talk for you.
Right. So I want to shift to NFL. Before I do, I want to remind you guys, be sure to follow Sports Edit Nation wherever you get your social media. Also, in the show notes, we're going to drop Alex's contact info as well, because coming up season 2, we teased it last couple days ago, but season 2 is coming, and Alex is going to be a big part of that for all things fantasy football. He is your go-to. He is the go-to. One of the things that he mentioned in Thursday's episode was the good thing about following him is that you don't need to follow 19 people. You can just follow him for it's kind of a one-stop shop. So Alex, let us know one thing that you're excited about for this NFL season, and I want to get into the Cleveland Browns situation with Shedeur Sanders.
There's a lot of things that I'm excited about. We got new QBs and new systems. We got Pete Carroll back in the mix with, the top running back, Genty, and now they got a new quarterback, so I know the city of Las Vegas, that's where I'm at, I know is excited about the Raiders being on the up and up. I still think they're going to suck. I don't like the Raiders. But that's one of the things that's just exciting, right now is like the new quarterbacks and the new systems. For the longest time, Aaron Rodgers, being a dull situation, but now he's got his he's at practice. So let's see, can he get things going over there with the Steelers? Because it seems like the Steelers have been a quarterback away from being good ever since Big Ben left. But I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has enough left in the tank to take on the tough teams in the NFC North, where it's like a lot of hard-nosed defense and a lot of hard-nosed like edge rushers.
Yeah, it's like we talked about 10 years ago, the Aaron Rodgers Joe Flacco matchup would have been pretty enticing, but now it's kind of like,
we moved on. We grew up.
Might catch the box score on that one,
By the time, I'll say this, by the time Joe Flacco and the Browns take on the Steelers for their second game, I don't think it'll be Flacco. I was thinking that maybe it would be Shedeur, but he keeps on doing dumb things, and I want to get your guys' take on this because I was listening to Fox Sports Radio, and TJ Hushmanzada had the most horrible take, in my opinion. He's talking to Plexico Burris, who did not shoot himself in this episode. He's talking to him, which is not the authority of anything, but they're talking back and forth, and LeVar Arrington is in the mix. He's kind of hosting the show.
What is this show? First of all, these three guys. Come on, this is like the Steven the
show
basketball, all the smoke. This is like the all the smoke show.
Oh yeah.
It's like the football version of it.
It's called Up on Game, and it is the equivalent.
It's totally thing.
Yeah, get ready for this take. You think you're laughing? I haven't even told you the take yet. Like, get ready, strap in, boys. So he says, "What are we talking about? This dude is just young. Everyone drives 100 miles an hour. And I don't understand what the big fuss is." And here's my thing. There is a difference between someone who is not trying to lead the team. Like TJ Hushmanzada, his rookie year and second year was not looked at as like someone, a big name or anything. So sit in the corner while you're discussing this. You're trying to be a franchise quarterback and you were drafted in the 5th round and your dad is getting you into trouble. You cannot drive 100 miles an hour, not once, but twice, and think that like it's just driving 100 miles an hour. Everyone does it. No, everyone who's trying to be a franchise quarterback does not do it. And we've already had issues. Speaking of Las Vegas, their team has had issues with people who like to drive over 100 miles an hour, and it's a bad scene. So like Shedeur, no, TJ, you are not letting him off the hook. That is the worst take ever. I couldn't believe, like, I had to like pull over and just put my head in my hand for a second and like let the commercial come, because I was like, dude.
I mean, are we sure that he's just not? I mean, I've been to Cleveland once, and I drove 101
on
miles.
Purpose?
101 miles there when I was leaving Cleveland.
To try and get the hell out of the city.
Yeah. So he's done this twice now. I think
he's just trying to leave.
The poor man is calling for help. It's a cry for help, and we are not giving him the attention he needs. He's trying to leave the city. I for one commend him. He could not drive faster to get out of that city. So
I like
LeBron did it too.
I like the take.
LeBron did
I mean,
it too.
he's trying to get the hell out of Dodge, and they're doing everything they can to keep him bootstrapped in there and keep him locked down. I feel like everybody who is a paid analyst online by some type of network, like they're all full of shit when it comes to Shedeur, because there's a reason why he wasn't drafted in the first, and it's not because he sucks, but he sucks compared to first round drafted quarterbacks. Like he played in a shitty conference, and like I hate the fact that like he's getting so much press for the bullshit, like during rookie OTAs when there's no pass rush, he's going against guys that probably aren't even going to make the team. Every time he threw a touchdown, I literally had to look up like the depth chart to see like how far down these wide receivers are. I don't even think he's thrown a touchdown to anybody who's like in the top 10 wide receivers on the Cleveland Browns, like as of yet. So it's just, it's all fugazi, man. Like, how is he so hyped? Just his name.
Maybe Hushmanzada's back and he's trying to get on the roster and he needs Shedeur there to make him look good. But one thing, Adam, can you give us another sample of TJ? Because it sounded like a Native American version of Chuck.
No, I only had one in me. And actually, what's funny is now that I remember, that was Plexico Burress. That was my impression of Plexico Burress, not TJ Hujmazoli.
Are you saying all football players sound the same, Adam?
No.
And basketball players, apparently, because Charles Barkley.
Canceled.
Yeah, terrible.
You're canceled. Yeah.
How can anybody take Plexico Burress seriously? I mean, once you shoot yourself like Cheddar Bob, I think your credibility is just lost for life.
And that's a good point. And not only that, but also wearing sweatpants to the club. It was not great sweatpants season at the time. So it was not socially acceptable to wear sweatpants to the club. And how do you expect your pistol to stay steady in your sweatpants? Come on, man.
But if that was Shedeur with a gun, try to shoot himself, the bullet would be intercepted and returned for a touchdown. So he'd be all right.
By Jason Sehorn.
The Jason.
Yeah, I just can't even keep my tall boys in my pocket, much less my pistols. So yeah, Plexico, man, what a guy.
So speaking of it doesn't fit, can we discuss that Zach Edey somehow fits in a Kia? Because he did the same thing, and he's like 8 feet tall. How is he like?
He's driving a Kia. Zach Edey driving a Kia. Oh man,
he got caught driving like 100 miles an hour as well in a
leaving
Kia.
Memphis.
In a Kia,
trying to escape Memphis.
What
was it like? Is it like the Addams Family where there's like a hole in the roof of the like convertible?
He just sticks his head out,
sticking out of it.
Wilma, Fred
Flintstone at the bottom. He's fast.
That was probably a Kia marketing ploy, is what it was. Yeah, like, we'll pay your ticket, we'll get you out of it, but yeah, we got to know that even big people can.
What was that?
Big Asians.
That tweet going around was like, "Yeah, Memphis got Zach Edey thinking he's Henry Ruggs, like chill out, man,
dude." Although it was bad.
I think it was in Indiana when it happened. I think Was it in Indiana?
Yeah, it was.
Where he attended college, right?
Yeah. Also a shithole like Memphis itself.
Speaking of Memphis, did you guys see when Bane showed up at Magic at the first day at the facilities? They had a video going around.
Yes, I saw that.
I missed that.
He's like walking around looking out there like, what do you think? He's like, this is a lot different than Memphis.
Orlando's,
It's like this is that Walt Disney money. I didn't know we had that Walt Disney money going on around here. But also
there was no one in that video. Like everyone's like, who cares? It's only Desmond Bane. Like he's not really all that great. So like no one showed up. It's like
watch your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Ex-Memphis player.
Watch your mouth. T-Rex arms get you.
So Miles, you are one of the guys that I know who doesn't necessarily keep up on soccer, and then until like it gets close to the World Cup and that kind of thing, you kind of are the go-to. So I did see that like USA Soccer completely screwed the pooch. Then they totally redeemed themselves and won barely like 5-0, and now they play again. Like what's going on here?
It's great when you play teams like Haiti that put it across their seaside, and like voodoo priests are out there on the pitch trying to kick a ball around, and they're trash. So the Gold Cup's going on. No one really cares. I think what people care pretty much as little about is the Club World Cup going on, but Messi, which I cannot let my wife know that I'm wearing this jersey, being that she's from Brazil.
Okay.
But he had a hell of a strike. Free kick against FC Porto. It was the first time ever an American club beat a European club in a like a tournament competitive match. So yeah, that's our soccer update, and that's really all we need to cover because people don't care about it like the WNBA.
So I was just looking up.
I heard
He's
was
37.
European.
He's 37. I thought he was older.
KD.
No, Messi.
We're not talking about. We moved on, Adam. We're not talking about soccer anymore. We already.
And
Miles said that was.
Guess what? No, guess what? Messi's birthday is tomorrow, Tuesday. Just so you know, like that's wild. June 24th is his birthday.
Hey, he's still kicking.
I'm sure.
So,
and I know you guys remember the league. We gotta be correct about it. You know, like Rafi says, only assholes call it soccer. Okay, it's football.
That's right.
Rafi bomb.
Swim, stab. Swim, stab.
Okay, I am announcing officially that we will have a full episode on the league. Like, if we've had it on South Park, Ninja Turtles, we will do a full episode on the league. No question.
Episode where he's like, yeah, I've roofied every trick in here. It's like it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game.
And still, the funniest thing to me is when like they're trying to get him to make a trade and trade Matt Forte, and they're like, "Hey, I think that's Matt Forte. He's on your team, isn't he? He's getting smashed." And he was like, "Should I kill him?" That's his first response. No, like maybe you should trade him. He's like, "Oh, definitely a better option." He was like, "Please don't tell anybody that I said, kill him because maybe he ends up dead." Okay, and then he just walks away.
Right. I love when Taco gets DallasCowboys.com by mistake or whatever.
I'm gonna write a number down on this for a thing of butterscotch pudding.
Oh gosh,
so good. Taco's truck, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna order some tacos. I'm getting tacos. It's like, no, I don't sell tacos. It's like, well, I'm confused.
And then he becomes tacos. Notary. Don't hide those thighs. Notarize.
And Taco, like, just what an entrepreneur. Like, that's what people don't understand is like he's like you fake it till you make it, and just like he'd already made it. Like before season 1 had already happened, he'd already made it and super successful. Just took a little while to catch up.
Yeah, I was
going to say Michael Scott of fantasy football. He was
doing his John LaJaw, like what Alex was talking about. He was doing like fake rap. He was like hitting it big with like fake rap stuff when YouTube was just popping off and doing comedy.
Yeah.
But I actually saw him at Zany's. I was going to say during that time frame, and my wife and I stood after. He was doing a little meet and greet, like selling CDs and stuff. And
cool.
He autographed the CD. It was like, thanks for the threesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like him and like Bo Burnham, those guys hitting YouTube and just
back when people listened to CDs.
Yeah. Like, yeah, for sure.
Now, what's a CD? People listening even know what a CD is?
Yeah. We got some old people in Sports Idiot Nation.
Don't get them started on cassettes now.
Yeah, cassettes. A-track. I think T.I. had an A-track. Speaking of music, Miles, what's going on in Houston with some of the music scene?
Oh, beyond the damn KD trade, the other dumb shittery going on down there. So you had Morgan Wallen. As far as I know, didn't get arrested yet again, but decided to walk out with the lyrical genius of Drake, and to make things worse, brought out Roger Clemens. Tweedledee, Tweedle dipshit, and Tweedle dumbass rocking. But that's just typical Houston right there. Houston happened. How does Houston happen? How does Houston lose a football team?
Did they bolt the chairs down?
That would have been a wise move, but I think Houston's not worth his time to do all that. He was just going to cater to the crowd because he probably thinks that Drake's from Houston. He doesn't know the difference between Toronto and H-Town anyways. So
is Roger Clemens and Drake on tour together?
That would make sense.
He's a backup dancer.
Interesting. There's going to be a new Kendrick Lamar. That's it. Yeah. It's going to be a new Kendrick Lamar, Roger Clemens diss.
Oh, that would
beef
be
going on.
No, that would be funny. I would love to hear Lamar trash Roger Clemens. And all the Astros, for that
What
matter.
is Drake? Why is Drake? And was he just happen to be? Is he performing in Houston, I guess, or something? I don't know. What was Drake doing
No
there?
one knows what he does. He's like a cockroach anymore. Just, finds
He's
his way out, and then he skids back.
Throws a team on, throws a random logo on, and just pops up.
Yeah.
It's like a Mario.
I think
pops up out the pipe. Boom, boom, boom. It's Drake.
He's just looking for a minor. So one thing we're not excited to be is in Houston. One thing I think the four of us would have a blast at is Fanatics Fest. Did you guys see this? Like, I kind of want to just go and just like, dude, be a part of the stuff, right? Like, it's kind of cool to see Tom Brady shooting threes and getting tackled by Eli and like all this stuff.
That is what I saw.
Like, some of it is hogwash, I get it, but like there's some legit stuff. Or no, like, where are we at on this? I would go.
Boy said hogwash.
Alex, where are you at on this?
I mean, I like to do things that would count as business write-offs, and I feel like that would be something that would count like as a business write-off. So I mean,
there you go.
I want to start doing more things like that. I do like to travel to where weed is legal, because I don't want to get in trouble for the lifestyle that I live. And man, Texas, they're just like, I don't know, in the 1800s still with all this.
Indiana too.
Pee Wee's still trying to get his bike out of the basement of the Alamo. It's just they're way behind there.
Was that in New York? Where was Fanatics Fest?
Not sure where it was, but I did see that Netflix was giving out pieces of shit cereal, pieces of shit for breakfast cereal. Like,
I know that there was a Fanatics Fest in New York.
Like Shooter McGavin on it. I don't know. It wasn't like, I don't think it was actual cereal. I think it was just like little cards, but it was like it looked like Wheaties, but it was Shooter McGavin. It's like pieces of shit.
Right, and then the actual cereal looked like the Cocoa Puffs. Or Cocoa Puffs. That would be it. The dark brown poofies.
It was in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. Whoever Jacob Javits is, we thank you for your services.
His parents were a fan of alliteration.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would go to New York, man, and hang out. And
fun fact, Jacob, what's his name? Jacob Javits? Say it again.
Javits?
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah, I was going to say, he hangs out with John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt a lot, and his name is probably my name, too.
Okay, nice try, Diddy.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely be in for that. Like, it's just cool, to go to stuff like that, like, and with your boys, and then we go to Chili's and get reservations because it gets busy.
When in New York, always gotta have a time at Chili's.
Or my favorite slice, Michael Scott, he goes to Sbarro's.
Yeah, Sbarro's.
Gotta get a New York slice. He goes to Sbarro's. And the camera like pans over and it says Sbarro's. You're like, what? Like,
and value, man.
It's shit value. Like that probably makes him go viral, right? You just look like such an ass. Right?
For sure, man. That's like so funny. What a great show. Maybe we'll do an episode about The Office, but that'll have to be after the league for sure. We got to get this going. Again, reminder, Alex Merino is not related to myself. However, he will be a huge part of season dose, which is coming very, very soon. Again, click the show notes, click the description to find out more information about Alex. Before I get into some baseball stuff, Alex, let's keep talking some NFL stuff real quick. Like, there's players sitting out. That's always a thing. But I kind of want to ask you guys, is there anyone that jumps out who is not attending their team's stuff that's like, okay, this might be a thing? Like, for example, Hendrickson in Cincinnati. They are run like a mom and pop operation over there. Last year it was the receivers that were trying to get paid. Now it's the defensive ends. Like, so that comes to mind. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers is with Pittsburgh, trying to, the slow motion video of Aaron Rodgers looks like a Cialis commercial. But he is there at least. But I want to ask you guys, we'll start with Alex. Is there anyone that jumps out to you team wise where you're like, dude, if they don't get it together, I know it's early, but guys, what are we doing? Come on.
Not really. I would think Trey Hendrickson's probably one of the biggest red flags, but the most recent news is that they've actually resumed talking. So like that was like a big thing, is like they were like so far apart that they like literally stopped talking. Like now it's not the case. They're getting back to the drawing board. We'll see what happens. But just them talking, they're gonna figure this out. Like the reason they're talking again is because they couldn't trade him. And it's getting too close to training camp right now to where a deal like already would have happened, especially for someone like him with like the big dollars, like against the cap that he would require. And the other one was James Cook, and I know there was a whole like that shit got blown like so far out of proportion to where it's like his house went up for sale and all this stuff, and then he actually showed up. So like he's not even holding out, but just bringing up how far that got thrown out of proportion that he was gonna hold out, but he showed up. So just if people missed that part.
Lots of clicks.
Well, it's like funny. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, about everything with Hendrickson, because I've mentioned that multiple times, and you all know my feelings that it's the Aaron Rodgers factor. Once that went down, it's like, crap, Cincinnati's front office, that is, realizing that we've got to have someone in there to snap his ankle again. But my dad worked with NFL teams back, it's been 3 decades now, when he worked computer softwares for then 20 of the 28 teams, and one of them being Cincinnati. And at the time, he's telling me this years later, because I was just a wee little lad back in those days, but telling me that the Cincinnati Bengals organization is the worst organization he's ever done business with. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Their team always sucks. And this is, thinking back in the 90s, post Super Bowl appearances when I wasn't alive for. And just assuming that, yeah, of course the front office is bad. They're probably the worst NFL organization you've ever worked with. No, you don't understand. The worst organization of any business you can imagine on earth that I've ever facilitated anything with or had negotiations or discussions with, the worst is the Cincinnati Bengals. And everything I heard with having family down there, even when they were winning, back in the Marvin Lewis days, recently with Joe Burrow, it's continued to be absolute mess with that front office. So the fact that they actually are competitive year, some years, I'll put it that way. I can't say year in, year out, but some years is a minor miracle, because it has been a joke. Not just recently, not just in the 90s, but forever and throughout the universe. Cincinnati is a mess. So the fact that they went from not talking at all, realized, well, we can't trade this guy, to suddenly they're talking, right around the time everything went down with Aaron Rodgers. So I think there was something behind that kind of forced their hand on that end.
How bad is it?
Did your dad ever work for the Titans? Because, they would have given the Bengals a run.
So funny story about that, because he did have the Houston Oilers, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was a part of that. He was actually on the inside when the Titans, then the Oilers, were moving, and they were playing split in time between Memphis and Nashville at Vanderbilt Stadium. And he got the news ahead of time that, hey, the Oilers, they're being rebranded. You can't tell anyone, but the team name is going to be the Nashville Lancers. Thank God that did not come to fruition. But yes, my dad was tied very closely.
I would be in for that.
Might as well.
I like in the theme of alliteration, as we talked about tonight. Tennessee Titans far superior.
A sword knight would have been cool, though.
I mean, they still have the sword, or at least the dagger in the T, but that was more popular back in the early 2000s with the Titans using the sword.
Yeah. Hey, another reminder, guys, to follow Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. Reminder that new episodes are every Monday and Thursday. And
Mayday! Cover your brains, boys and girls. Put on your tinfoil hats, because this is Idiot of the Week.
All right, you idiots and sinners, college baseball season just wrapped yesterday. LSU Tigers 2 times in 3 years, making Livy Dunn happy. But one gentleman was a little pissed in the first inning yesterday. Manager for Coastal Carolina got out of the dugout, yapping it up with the home plate umpire, telling him, you missed 3. The home plate umpire, he just could not keep it in. Tosses his ass. 2 outs into the ball game. Things escalate from there. Oh, hell yeah, they did. Backs against the wall, Coastal Carolina. Manager goes up first base umpire. Boom. Does a barrel roll down the first baseline. All involved. Coach, first base coach, all tossed. Home plate umpire got his feelings hurt. Pulled the trigger too quick, but it escalated, got worse. Coast Carolina, man, they fought for about 3 innings, and then they just took a nosedive. Got swept. LSU back on top of it. Umpires, all refs in general. Let's throw them all in there. And idiot coaches that can't keep the cool. You are Idiot of the Week. Livy Dunn, congratulations. You're still a sweetheart.
Yeah, you're saying that because she's hot.
If they want to keep Livy Dunn, though, they need to make her happy more than 2 times out of every 3 years. Just saying.
Well, she runs a high price there.
Yeah, I mean, gotta step it up. Flowers only
step it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of stepping it up, do you know who is 5-5 in their last 10 games? I'm going to blow the whole world's mind right here. Your Colorado Rockies are 5-5. Like
What?
this is beyond,
They are.
Who
Colorado
are these?
Rockies. There are Colorado Rockies. They're not mine. They're not yours. They're all of ours. They're a gift. They're a gift to baseball fans and sports fans all across the globe.
They are 7 games back of the White Sox. Now, the White Sox are not in their division or even league, mind you, but they are 7 games back of hoisting the world's worst record ever. Like, they're only 7 games back of the White Sox, which is crazy because they were 20 games back 8 minutes ago. And it's just you win a couple games and now you're right on the White Sox tail to be the worst team.
It's obvious. They were doing terrible. We embraced them. We encouraged them. While they were winning a game a week, like we said, if it was football, they would have been doing fantastic because they had 5 straight wins. Because they won one a week, even though it was they win one and lose 5 in a row. But good for them.
Right.
I'm proud of them. They're feeling the power of the Sin multiverse, the Siniverse, embracing the suck of the Colorado Rockies. And shout out to all their all-stars, every one of their all-stars that everyone voted for.
Oh, right.
One guarantee.
The audacity of their social media to ask for someone to vote for one of their players as for an all-star.
And this kind of ruins my push because I was saying earlier that Colorado already stole a team from Quebec with that Avalanche, or almost the Rocky Mountain Extreme, back in the 90s. The Rockies need to move up to Montreal to, basically a 1-for-1, 30 years late, but they can make it happen. But then, of course, the Montreal Expos of Washington were the team that took the dive this last week and lost 3 straight games to the Rockies. So maybe spelling a conspiracy. They're pissed, the folks in Montreal, for never showing up to their games because they didn't. Why they moved, and they're like, nah, we're gonna spoil Montreal's chances of actually getting a team. We're going to just biff it this week and let the Rockies, be relevant for a week so the Sinners can talk about it. It's conspiracy.
Right. They're like the Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay.
Sounds legit to me. Sounds legit to me. Miles got it all figured out. But yeah, they just miss Fred McGriff, man. They really miss Fred McGriff in Montreal.
The crime dog.
Yeah.
Fred McGriff.
He played in Tampa too.
I think Moises Alou started there too, I believe. I'm not sure if he started there
before he snapped his leg.
On the treadmill. Speaking of treadmills, I have to have a moment of silence for this weekend. I had to put my family treadmill to rest.
Oof.
Second treadmill that I've had to put to rest in about 12 years. So please say a prayer for my wallet as I embark on a
run? You run?
Me and Shedeur Sanders, we're both trying to outrun our demons. In Cleveland.
Get a Peloton or whatever that is.
Same. Demons, Cleveland.
Speaking of demon, the baseball gods definitely have blessed us with the Rockies trying to win, but they also served us in having a historic trade to my team. And then those two teams play each other. Like, how awesome is that? Just this weekend, the Giants and Red Sox played, and my guy was able to hit a home run. Now, here's what's crazy. In yesterday's game, he's up to bat with two guys on. It's a full count. The pitch, nay. Shot clock violation, pitch clock violation. He walks. What is this? What is this garbage? There's a 20-second pitch clock in baseball and a 3-2 pitch, and the umpire comes out and puts up a 4, and he gets to walk to first base. We don't get to see a guy who is number 1 over the last 4 years in extra base hits. We don't get to see him try to hit because of a pitch clock violation. We got to do better than that.
I mean, baseball games are already like 5.5 hours, man. What's the big deal? I mean, you're already making a commitment to go to a game. So if the pitch takes 30 seconds, 35 seconds, why are we putting a timer on it? Come on, man.
It was just
drink a couple
ridiculous.
beers, get some food, do what you're there to do, not pay attention to every single pitch, and
Exactly.
That's why we have Dollar Dog Night for a damn reason. And if you want to be entertained by every second, go watch Savannah play.
Yeah, get your glizzy, hollow it out.
Oh God, Yankee
edit
fans,
that out.
right?
Edit that out for me, Adam.
There's a guy.
Get your glizzy, hollow the glizzy out, put it in your cup, drink your beer. Oh, I can't wait to see what people overdub with that one.
I'm ready for that to be a short on YouTube.
Like the A&M
Instagram
bell ringer
reel.
guy. The A&M bell ringer.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. If you haven't seen that video, just YouTube it. Then you'll 100% get it.
But the Savannah Bananas, like those guys are killing it. And if you want to be entertained, just watch them. I mean, you can watch them free on YouTube, man.
The guy on stilts, I love that guy.
Or girl.
Yeah.
Now they're bringing out the chicks for that too. They're throwing softballs at her.
The Rockies could use that guy on stilts.
Shoot.
And like apparently when you go to one of their games, food and like everything, it's all included in your ticket price.
Oh,
that's why tickets are like $200.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, they said in the beginning they lost a shitload of money. They lost a shitload of money in the beginning on it, but that was like, why the fuck was anybody going to go to Savannah Bananas when nobody knew who the hell they were? To get a whole bunch of free food. Now,
but that guy's sharp.
Yeah, you want to go drive over and go watch the Braves? No, I'm going to go watch the Savannah Bananas. The what? They got free hot dogs. Oh, shit.
You're dang right. Well, that's what they're talking about with Coastal Carolina switching from baseball over to football. Coastal Carolina football's trying that this season. Like, what are they going to do about all the hobos in there? They still got to buy a ticket.
Put a helmet on.
The ticket's $4.
Just give them a helmet.
Just get someone to show up.
It's a hobo. It's a special hobo.
Do a barrel roll.
Night. Yeah, hobo bobblehead night.
Yeah.
The hobo barrel roll.
First 100 fans get a free hobo bobblehead.
All right, Alex, we're gonna get you out of here on this. A reminder though, first, follow Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. Remember the show notes for Alex's info, all things fantasy football. He is going to be hanging out with us all season 2, which is coming up very soon. Stay tuned. I'm going to get you out of here on this, Alex. Yes or no, can you beat up Adrian Peterson?
Yes. Because we'll never be together in the same place at the same time. So I'm saying yes until.
So you're just gonna say yes, dude. He does not have a good track record with throwing bows, bro.
Nah, I mean he could.
Dude, he got slumped.
If he's got a switch in his hand,
that fight.
If he's got a switch in his hand, I'm be a little nervous. If he's just, if he shakes your hand, he might break it. But I don't know. When it comes to swinging the fists, like he doesn't look like he's too coordinated in that way.
The switches are only on kids, though, so you're good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, there's two things. He's
you have a beard.
If he is your father, then you might have to be a little wary of his backhand. And 2, he did unveil himself as Donatello, so he may have some martial arts skills we don't know about. So keep that in mind. So.
He was in the league.
Yeah,
if
you don't know,
we like that. That's one.
That's
thing
right.
cool
That's
about
right.
him. He did a
was.
cameo in the league.
Yeah.
He was banging.
Yep, we
Pete
do love that.
Lady.
Yeah, Pete Top, Kevin Bottom.
He had that
one thing.
He had that commercial back in the day where he was like slow motion. He had his shirt off, and it's like, oh, man, it's like that guy looks like kind of scary. You know, that was like at the pinnacle of his career. You know, before
back when PEDs were still legal.
Yeah, that's right.
And encourage.
Him and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys loved it.
That's right. Peyton Manning's neck. That's why his neck was so big, because it was like he injected him straight into his neck.
Infusion, the infusion didn't work.
And into his forehead, too.
His neck was like
his neck
started competing against his body, like, I'm getting too strong, Peyton.
Yeah, he was legit about to have to get, like African ladies how they get the crazy thing, keep their neck all informed. Like he was really close.
The Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah. Oh man. All right. We have derailed. Remember, new shows come every Monday. That was a good derail, right?
Well, we didn't derail until the very end of the show, which is good because usually it's about
perfect time when
minutes.
when no one's watching. Yeah. Remember, new shows come every Monday and Thursday. Stay tuned for really interesting info regarding season 2. It's coming very soon. But with that, we will see you Thursday. Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.